Oh, it's gonna be a scorcher here in the UK. It really, really is. Hence the vest. So yeah, I'm looking outside in the garden. I'm thinking, wow. Yeah, it's already. I mean, it's not even 10 o'clock, and it's scorching. How are you guys? Where are you? What's happening? Say hello, Lacey. How are you? Let me know if you are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Stephen Brailsford, how are you, mate? Let me know if you're on LinkedIn, Twitter. Let me know where you are joining us from. But it's Monday morning, and I really, really wanted to get on here and deliver some real value. Morning, says Stephen. I hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I wanted to get on here and offer some real value for actors. Like I say, this is my passion. This is what I do. And what better way to start off the week than doing exactly what I love? Emmanuel, Jane, how are you? Jane, it's your one-on-one in a moment. So you'll be seeing me for a good 5-10 minutes, and then we've got an hour's one-on-one. I hope you're well, Jane. Let's have a look. Emmanuel says, morning. Stephen says, I'm just having a log burner installed. A log burner? Have you seen the weather, Stephen? You're not even going to be able to use it for ages. But a log burner sounds incredibly cool. It really, really does. Obviously, with the fuel crisis in the UK, it sounds like a sensible move. It really, really does. Let me know if you're on. Tully says, good morning. Prepare for the winter. That's it, Stephen. Exactly. Preparation. Shariz, how are you, mate? I hope you're well. Right. Okay, I'm going to have to get into it because Jane there has a one-on-one in 9 minutes. And I don't want to use all my time greeting everybody, but make sure that if you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, don't be frightened to add to the conversation, okay? I love to deal with questions. I love to read out your comments. I think it's fantastic that we get to have this kind of two-way conversation and add value together. So, some big audition tips. If you've got any questions about auditioning, let me know. I already put some value out this morning with regards to my biggest audition tip. And it's the big part of an audition that nobody particularly takes very, very seriously. And the usual structure of an in-person audition, I mean, that could still be on Zoom or in person. Obviously not a self-tape. You won't get to do this. But the biggest part of an audition is effectively you having a chat with a casting director or producer. So it's kind of like, right, come in and all the greeting and stuff like that, and take that incredibly seriously, but that's for another day. But then when you're sat down or you're within the room with these people, there will be a conversation. There will be a chat. And that chat will include you being asked. Sometimes casting directors will ask a very simple question to throw you. You know, I've been, when I was an actor years ago, I've got to ask questions like, how did he get here? And I'd be like, boss, you know, when I was like a young actor, a kid. But what I realized very, very fast is that chat is the most important part of an audition. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. So, when you are being considered for a role, okay, particularly in TV and film, those roles are cast on personality traits. Another word for it is like archetype, okay? Basically, the way that TV is that they're showing how different personalities succeed or maybe not succeed in different circumstances. So the whole point of it is we are interested in how different personalities get on in different circumstances. So therefore, personality is such a big part of the casting process. Genuinely. Where do they usually get and find what your genuine personality trait is and what you are genuinely about? In the chat. Because a lot of actors are, a lot of the times can sometimes have a masked personality trait that they bring out in there. They could have done the prep wrong and really decided that the character's personality trait is different from theirs. They'll play the scene a different way. And at least if they know genuinely what their personality trait is and what it is that they're looking for, and they're in their head, they've matched it because they've had a chat with you and thought, yeah, this person is that character. And then if you do your scene wrong, they can say, look, we've seen this in you. Can you make your scene about this that we've actually seen in you? And they can get very, very, sorry, my nose, I've got hay fever and the door's open. All right. So if I rub my nose, don't worry about it. And they'll say, right, look, we want to see that because that you've sold us on that aspect of your personality trait. So can we please see that in the scene? All right. Let's see some comments. Let's very quickly go to, when will there be classes in London again? Tully, I am working on it as we speak. Okay. Stay in touch. Make sure we've got your email address on file if that's what you're interested in. DM me. All right. Stephen says, if you go with the attitude of this is me and this is what I can bring to your project, it's what you can do for them, not what they can do for you. That is one of my biggest one of my biggest mantras. It's called not being an asshole. Okay, an asshole. Never be an asshole. Always be thinking, what can I do for other people? Great comment, Stephen. As always. Tully, all right. That must mean that we're going to get your email address, etc., on file and get you involved. Brilliant. Okay, so you take the chat incredibly seriously. Okay, ensure that you don't answer with one-word questions. Elaborate on what they ask you. They might throw you and just say, "What did you have for dinner yesterday?" But you're not going to say a sandwich. Just say, give them a bit of a story. Tell them. Use that time to elaborate on what we're chatting about. Open up. A lot of actors, you see, will sit there, be very quiet, and just want to get onto the read because they think that's the most important part. And they shut up and they shut down and they'll be like, yeah, fine. I got here. I don't know. I got a taxi. Yeah, brilliant. Right, can we do the read now? And it's like they're doing that. But really, the chat, if you have a really, really good chat and they see what you're about and they seem excited about what you're about, then the read is like second. It's just like you've got to bring out those personality traits in that read. Okay? Jane says, you have my sympathy with hay fever. It's horrible. Oh, it is. It is. I've not taken my treatment yet, though. So if you've got really good treatment with hay fever, you're fine. But I usually wait till I've had a shower and because I've been kind of doing some gym exercises this morning. I wait till I've had a shower, washed off all the pollen, and then I do all my treatment, and then I'm usually fine for the rest of the day, to be fair. So yeah, genuinely take the chat incredibly seriously, okay? It's so important. I'll give you a few tips while I'm here. Another one is deal with everybody. So they might have a few people in the room. And here's a tip right from the top drawer. Here's from my experience, hundreds and hundreds of auditions when I was a jobbing actor, okay? So what you find in an audition room is you've usually got a casting director leading it, and then you've got people who are maybe a bit quieter, who just sit and observe. And what happens is because the casting director's the one that's dealing with you, usually just give them all of your attention. And it's like sometimes you ignore the other people in the room. What you find is, and this is a golden rule, is the person usually who is quietest in an audition room usually has the most influence over the casting, right? So remember that. So when you're in an audition room, I always used to and always get my actors at MZA to make a point of dealing with everybody individually. Even if there's somebody who's quiet, we'll make sure you give them equal eye contact. You'll say, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're well. I'm Matt. And make sure you deal with everyone individual. Because you can imagine if you just gave one person all your attention, ignored someone altogether, subliminally that person would feel ignored. And usually you'll find that they've got the biggest decision to make. So there we are. That's probably my second biggest tip around auditioning. Okay. Now, It's 1 minute to. I have a one-on-one with the wonderful Jane Masters, who's in the chat. So I'm going to have to get off. I hope you're well. Have the most wonderful day, particularly if you're in the UK when we're looking at temperatures over 30 degrees. And make the absolute most of it. To anyone that's not a member of MZA, you can have a free trial class on me wherever you are in the world. We've got online classes if you're lucky enough to be in God's own county, and hopefully soon in London. You can have a free trial class on me for in-person classes. We've all got all sorts of things going on. Go on my Linktree, linktr.ee/Matt Zina, and make sure you get involved. There's so many ways we can help actors, and we love to do it. It's genuinely is my passion. Much love. Have the most amazing day. Make